Hey guys, back again working on the burn. Um, Today it's more sistering of studs, cutting rot, and trying to rebuild this wall. So let me show you what my plan is. So in this corner you can see I removed the diagonal bracing. Um, it had some dry rot on it, so I think I'll replace it ultimately with probably a pressure treated 4x4. I have a spare one kicking around here, so I'll use that. So in the corner I'm going to put a 2x6. I have to notch around that piece of plywood there, so that'll run all the way up to the top here and down to the new sill plate. For the 2x4s, I'll cut off wherever it's rotten and put just a piece underneath, and then I'll sister a 2x6 up the other side. I intend to leave the existing sistering as much as I can. It's there, it's been there, there's no sense, and the fact that I think that the plywood behind it is actually screwed in, attaching itself to those 2x4s versus the existing studs. But once I get started, we'll see if that's true or not. This cluster here, I'm going to remove the one on the right here. It was rotten on the bottom. I got to put a new little spacer block underneath this here, and then I'll run my 2x6 up on that side. And same deal here. I'm going to leave the existing 2x and run a 2x6 up the other side and replace whatever's rotten on the bottom. And then this one here, the window one, which is in the worst shape, I'm going to have to, when I get over this far, I'm going to have to probably tear out this whole window frame, if you can call it that. I need to install a proper header over the window, and I'm going to run a 2x6 down from that sill plate or header on the inside here. I don't know if I have enough material to actually cut out all the rot on this, but I do believe it's actually 2x4s thick, so that may be my fix. I'll just cut out the rot and then put in two 2x4s side by side, and maybe I can do a half lap or something and tie it into the existing. So that may be the plan there. And I'll leave that that existing 2x4 again, because I believe the plywood's probably screwed off to it. And then of course the window needs a whole new, lots of work here. New frame, got to remove this. It's totally gone. I don't know why it's there in the first place, because it only goes to here, and then I'll have to continue ripping this off and put up the rest of my sill plate, and I'm just gonna work across. I have a feeling, I haven't looked yet because I gotta move this sheet metal. If you'll notice, all the plywood's been moved, and that was a lot of work, but we got all that cleared out of there, and then I gotta move this roofing metal, and once I move that, I'll be able to see what sort of state the rest of the studs are in. Based on what I've found so far, I don't think I'm going to be very lucky with the rest of the way across, so I have a feeling I'll be performing the same operation as I work across this wall. So I'm going to start here in the far corner and get started. First one, let's see if it fits. Okay, first one's in place, notched around that piece of plywood there and all the way down to the bottom. I screwed the bottom in because, like I said, that stud, or not the stud, but the beam behind it, I'm not exactly sure what state it's in, so I may need to back those out when I cut the rod off the bottom once I get around to reframing this door, but I'm not ready to do that yet. So this cluster here, I'm going to take off the 2x4 on the right and see what I'm dealing with. So that's next. Okay, I pulled it off. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, or maybe not see, it seems pretty soft behind here. That's not much of a surprise, really. It seems to end right there, so they didn't go anywhere past the rot. So I guess I'll cut up to here. That's where it turns solid again, and get rid of this garbage here. And I don't know how that's attached. So here we go again. There we go. It's definitely, the wall is definitely attached to that. And that was only held with that one screw. So in theory this should go, let go. Okay, I got a piece. Let's see how I did. Looks pretty good. That's two. Okay. Now I have to cut a 2x6 to run the whole length. I'll do that now. Okay. Here's a closer look at what I've done. Cut off the rot, cut off the little short 2x4. It used to run up to here. You can still see the stain. That's all gone. I got a new piece underneath. It's about as close as I could find for width. It's damn close. And I left the original 2x4 there because the plywood behind it is screwed into it. So, and then my new 2x6 runs all the way to the top. So I still have to add some horizontal bracing here, but it's a lot better than what was there. Now I got to move on to this one. Same process. Pretty good. So that's what was in behind the wall. Not much. Now for the next set. And here's what that one looked like. Not much. Not much left of it. Even worse here on the bottom. Completely gone. Okay, so here's my piece. This is really wide. It's 2.5 inches across. So I don't have anything that wide. So what I've done is I've ripped two 2x4s and I've just screwed them together. So that'll fit in here, and I'll screw it in from this side, and then put a 2x6 up the rest of the length of the stud here. So that should hold it in place. Okay, here's the next piece. I think that'll be a good fit. Alright, I'm going to put some construction adhesive on it and nail it off. Okay, so here's the diagonal support. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. There is a bit of a gap there, but not really much, if anything. Up here it sits nice and flush. The only real bad spot is right here. There is a gap under this, but there's not much I can do. Doesn't appear to have been cut at a 45, but I guarantee you when this went up they probably did it by hand, so not bad. So I think I'm just going to either screw or nail this in place. Probably screw because it's a little easier. And call that done. I'll put a support underneath there in the middle, and other than that it looks pretty good to me. Okay, here's what I have. New 2x6 in the corner, new 2x6 here as well. The rot has been cut off the existing stud. A new piece has been cut and placed inside. new diagonal support. It's now supported underneath as well. Right here. Over here, another 2x6 is in place. Again, same deal. The rot has been removed, and some supporting 2x4s are now in there. And next up, on another day, we'll be tackling all this. The window. That will take some time, I suspect. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.